I do cybersecurity.
Okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
I'm still in the
Might even become manager in a year.
Oh, really?
We'll see. We'll see if it works out. I'm really thinking about it.
That would be great.
Yeah, then I can come back to Georgia Tech for career fair and actually recruit people with job offers. They'll let me.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, this thing is on?
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you have to turn people down at some point? That must be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get over it though. I'm sure I'll have to do the same thing if I run my own private business.
Yeah. Wait, this thing is on? This thing's been recording the whole time?
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Yo!
What's up?
John is walking through doors, and
yeah. I'm just cleaning up my griddle. I just made some food tonight. Just made my dinner outdoors.
Oh, that sounds fun. What'd you make?
I had never really made fish growing up, and I just made some fish tonight, and it was a lot better than I thought. I made some tilapia and some salmon, and I blackened it on a griddle, like a flat top, like they have at Waffle House. Get that thing real hot. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. What you up to, Anuj?
Well, standard stuff. My job's treating me well, and actually I'm still technically in school. But you know how it is.
For what, like a PhD? Something to...
Masters.
Oh, okay, masters. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. It's been an interesting grind so far, but it is what it is, and honestly, I'm really looking forward to football season to start.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But did you graduate?
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I graduated last year. I'm in medical school now.
Nice. Welcome to the alumni life, bro.
What's that?
Welcome to the alumni life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, I'm actually watching the Home Run Derby right now. They're just getting started.
I was going to say, we should talk about why Anuj is standing. He's doing a standing episode tonight, I guess.
He's full of energy, right?
Of course.
Can't contain it.
Never not full of energy. I admire that.
So, Anuj, you said you might have died tonight. Do you want to talk about what happened?
So, I was watching the Home Run Derby, and I happened to catch the national anthem while it was going on. And a B-52 flyover.
Oh, they flew bombers over? I would think they would always fly fighter jets over.
I guess it varies.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was stationed there. It's, I think, LA Air Force Base.
Yeah, because they're over in Los Angeles tonight.
Yeah. Wish it was in Atlanta, but can't be.
Yeah, Anuj, why did you almost die today?
What? I almost died today? What are you talking about? I didn't almost die. Okay, well, today was leg day. Leg day's always fun. Except when it's not.
I see.
But also, school to worry about.
School. It's just one class a semester, right?
So?
Yeah, John, what's going on with you? It's been a few weeks since the last time.
Yeah. So, do you know the whole idea of residency? We talked about that, I think. Before. Just it's like apply from high school to college, then apply from college to med school, then apply from med school to residency, which is like on the job training. It gets harder every time you jump up a rung in the ladder. And the thing that residency's like is you have a lot of research and experience and whatever. So I've been trying to do research this summer. That's the main thing.
Wait, so are you going to med school soon, or?
Oh no, I just finished my first year actually. Yeah. This summer doing some coding with people. Because I know I'm not a CS major, but I have some medical background, and they like that, and they like the fact that I can code some stuff, like at least rudimentarily. They don't really enjoy trying to piece together code by themselves. So hey, that gives me a good position, right? I can try and make myself useful. They'll have me on a lot of papers probably before long. That's gonna be awesome.
All right. So you're just trying to get that in before you have to, treat people?
Yeah, because if you don't get into residency, like I said, that on-the-job training, if you don't get into that, then you cannot see patients. You can have an MD degree, but you won't be able to see patients yet. You know what I mean?
You gotta be board certified. That's right.
Right, and not only board certified, but you have to go through the training too. Yeah, it's something where it's even more competitive than college and medical school, like the application process. So yeah, you gotta have stuff that'll really set you apart. And especially
Shama's been there.
Yeah.
Shama's been there. She just finished her residency, internal medicine and pediatrics, and she's starting a fellowship in pulmonary critical care.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I don't think I could do pediatrics. I don't have enough patients.
You hate kids, is what you said.
With kids, yeah. I always feel like I'm either talking down to them too much or talking like way above their heads too much. You know what I mean? I never feel like I can talk to them on the correct level.
Okay.
Because when I was a kid, I felt like every adult was like talking down to me really hard, and I was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? It's just like, that made me mad. I hate to be that kind of person to another kid,
Right.
I guess it's one of those things. Maybe it's just one of those developmental things. You start, getting experience with pediatrics, and you learn, okay, kids at this age are going to understand this, and kids at this following age are going to understand that, I guess. I'll probably just have to gain experience for that to be more comfortable, but yeah.
So what would you do? Would you just do internal?
My granddad did that. My dad does ophthalmology, which is a lot more specialized. It's eye surgery, like cataract, that kind of thing. And that seems like a really good field because they come into you with a problem. They say, okay, I can't see, or everything's blurry, whatever. You go in, do whatever you got to do, either give them glasses or do a cataract surgery, or hopefully not, but maybe something more complicated. In case. After that time, they're fixed. You fix their problem. Whereas, you think about internal medicine, just like, general problems, say diabetes, a lot of times people don't want to help themselves. They're just like, oh, screw it. I'm going to, eat horribly, have no exercise, all that stuff, and you just watch them slowly decline over the course of, several decades. And it's like, that has to be the most depressing thing ever. I don't think I can handle that, I respect people who do that a lot, though. I don't think I have the constitution for that. My personality, right? I would just feel frustrated. I'd be like, dude, you got to work out more. You got to eat better, or you got to, treat your life like it's worth more. Right?
Ain't that the truth?
It would just get depressing for me after a while. I mean, imagine dealing with people like that for 40 years of your life. It would just get so old to me. At least with, stuff like ophthalmology, there's a problem that's discrete. They come in with that single problem and you fix it and they're good in the vast majority of cases.
So would you consider doing, doing ophthalmology, or would you consider going into like general surgery or something like that?
Well, general surgery, some see general surgery as kind of a miserable profession too. You're pretty much just going to be doing, mainly like, gallbladder stuff, appendix stuff, things like that.
Alright, fine. How about ortho?
Ortho, I'm actually associated with that research group that I was talking about. They're more of an ortho-associated group.
Well, perfect.
You can still say, though, that you have to worry about, like, lawsuits with, because, imagine especially, like, spine surgery. You mess up the tiniest thing, or even if you don't mess up the tiniest thing, they're going to come at you and sue you and be like, no, this is your fault. I can't 100% feel the back of my hand or whatever, region scan. My sensation isn't 100% what it used to be after my spinal injury, and it's your fault, and I'm suing you. You know what I mean?
What if you tell them, we're going to do it, you're not going to get there first, but with therapy, with work, you will.
Yeah. Well,
surgery is only part of the battle. I've been there. I've been under the knife, actually, for both of my shoulders, and it wasn't like I had surgery, and then, like, my shoulders felt like absolute crap, and then I had to go through therapy, and I had to get my range of motion back, and I had to get my strength back. Maybe I don't feel as strong as I do before, but I still feel strong, and, I can still go and lift.
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying. You're probably one of the best kind of patients to have, for a doctor, but most patients aren't as good as you in terms of, taking responsibility on their part and, not trying to shift the blame or say that, oh, my surgeon must have made a mistake, or, oh, he's not confident enough, that he must have messed something up or is trying to hide it from me. All this stuff. Just that some people are really insecure and really like to throw blame around, even though it's something that only they can help themselves with, right? They just get really paranoid. So you're the best kind of patient to have from what I'm hearing right now, but most people probably, or at least very many people, are not like you. So that's the thing that would wear on me as like a spine surgeon or a shoulder surgeon, whatever. Like major joints, you got to imagine, especially hips too. If you don't have a good hip, you can't walk. So,
and if you fuck up their sciatica, then they're also they're in trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sciatic nerve either. They're nerves that control adduction and abduction of the legs.
Abduction is outside, right?
Sciatic is, I believe it's
abduction.
It controls sensation, and well, actually, no, it's flexion, I believe, if I'm not misremembering. I've had it in a little while. I'll have to refresh myself on that. But it gets really complicated. But it seems like sciatic nerve is one of the ones that people get really paranoid about because often that's the one that a disc will pinch. Like if you have a herniated disc, that seems to be a very common target for it. But you can have just about any nerve in the lower body go wrong and mess you up with your walking. And I do not want to be there to deal with that. Maybe I'm shirking my responsibility as a future physician, but man, 40, 50 years of that, I can't imagine, dude. Can you?
Not me. And like Shama's going to be a critical care fellow. So maybe she's not treating patients like day to day, but she's going to get like bad cases, like severe cases, like think like asthma attacks on steroids.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In that case, at least you're pretty much working on a shift, and it's just like, okay, I dealt with them from, the last 2 hours of my shift, and then someone else gets them. It's like, I'm not the one in charge primarily of their care, right? You do everything that can be done within reason for them if they come in with some kind of acute injury. And then after that, it's not really your fault necessarily. And you don't get called like in the middle of the night. A lot of these practices, like internal medicine especially, people will just call you in the middle of the night like, hey doc, come see me. Something's going wrong, And it's like, you just gotta drop everything forget about sleeping, all that, and just like see them, you know.
Do you know what Jeopardy is in the context of residency?
What was that?
Do you know what Jeopardy is in the context of residency?
I'm not sure actually. You might have to explain that to me.
So remember how when we were in band, and if people would need like a sub, an emergency sub for like their spirit band assignments, I'd be willing to take it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. But it's not in the case of, hey, I have an emergency, I can't make my gig, can you sub for me? It's what's gonna happen is if you can't make it, you would call Jeopardy, and there's like a priority queue of people who can then sub for you. In the case of Jeopardy, so it's an idea. The idea isn't that every time somebody calls Jeopardy, one person's gonna get the short end of the stick. If you call Jeopardy, you'll get a sub, but if somebody else calls Jeopardy, then you have to be you are expected to sub for them. It's a kind of deal. It's a whole thing. It depends from specialty to specialty. Sometimes it works like that. Sometimes it doesn't. Honestly I forget how it worked for when my sister was in residency, but I think that illustrates the general idea.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: I am not a doctor. I'm only related to one.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I'm sure you have a lot more experience than I do as far as like, you know, hearing all the complaints that a new doctor would have. My dad's been in it for so long. He knows how to avoid all the like pitfalls of being a doctor, you know, while still doing his job really well. It's like, I'm sure a new doctor can tell you a hell of a lot more about the field as far as like what problems come up and what you got to be prepared for, right?
No, the worst is when you lose a patient.
Oh yeah, well see, that's another reason ophthalmology seems good, because you're not gonna kill someone by, you know, doing a surgery on their eye unless you just completely like, you know, stumble over with a seizure or something. Yeah, well if you don't have a seizure as the person operating on their eye, then I don't see how you would kill a person during a rudimentary like cataract surgery or something. I mean, I'm sure it's possible in a lot of ways, but you know, as an experienced physician, it seems like something where it's a really safe field to be in, I guess. That's why it attracts me a lot. People see dermatology that too. But then again, you have to be aware too that if you're doing dermatology, you have to see a lot of cancer patients, that kind of thing, and worry about, you know, it has to be so painful. I can't imagine that. Trying to,
especially UV related cancers.
Yeah,
right?
Having to be the one to tell a patient, yeah, that's true. UVB is, I believe it's more dangerous unless I'm mixing them up. Yeah, having to be the one who diagnoses someone with cancer and just tells them, like, okay, your lifespan is like 1/4 what it should have been. You know, just having to tell them that to their face, that has to be so painful. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that can happen in any field. I believe my dad had to talk with like young kids about retinoblastoma. It's a tumor that grows on the back of the eye, you know, on the retina. He had to tell them about that, and it's like, you know, that has to be one of the most painful things ever. But you know, I suppose as long as you can diagnose them very, very quickly, that has to be a big positive for you.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure it's no better in internal medicine, which is like when one of the things is like when I ask like Shama about her day, it's like one of the things I like to ask is like, did you get to discharge anybody? Because I'm sure you'll probably learn this as well. Telling somebody that they can go home, gotta feel good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure it does. I'm sure there's a lot of negative to balance that out though, and be like, you know, all right, well, you're going to have this condition that's, you know, extremely painful and or highly lethal for the rest of your life. You know, telling them things like that, it's like that has to be positive. You know, that just I can see why people. It seems like a lot of these fields that have less of that kind of a thing are a lot more competitive to get into. Like, a more competitive college. It's harder to get into a residency with one of these more competitive fields. For that reason, everyone wants that field. So, yeah. I guess it's just one of those things. But yeah, I'm definitely doing my part and trying to make sure that I have good lifestyle.
Good. But also consider it's not just like the school that you want to go to. Sometimes it might also be the patient population that you want to treat, the patient population that you want to serve. Like,
Yeah.
Shama had an opportunity. Like, she could have gone to USS, she could have gone to Birmingham, she could have gone to Chicago if she wanted, but she went to Tulane. And New Orleans has a very interesting like patient population of like people that she can serve, people that she can do a lot of good for, and there's a lot of potential to do good in New Orleans. And at least for her, that's how she felt, and that's why she went there. So that's the other thing to worry about. It's not just about getting into that big name school. It's not about getting into that big name program. Sometimes it's just where do I fit? Where can I do the most good? For Shama, that was New Orleans. That's why she spent 5 years in Tulane.
Yeah.
So just consider that.
Yeah, I absolutely will. I've considered that in the past as well. But I was going to ask, was that her residency or her medical school?
That was her residency. Med school was at Morehouse School of Medicine. So she got to stay in Atlanta.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, like, it doesn't, like, ultimately, like, where you go to med school, it's not going to matter at the end of the day. As long as you're board certified, you're going to be good.
Right.
And at least for Shama, Morehouse opened up a lot of, gave her a lot of opportunities. Like, she got to serve, again, she got to serve an underserved population. She got to work at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta. And it was great. It was a good experience.
Yeah, I bet it was. That had
Maybe I should bring it on the podcast.
In a city like that. Which, by the way, Daniel, I wasn't trying to make this all about me. What would you like to talk about, Daniel?
No, you guys are good. I didn't want to. I'm not going to interrupt medical school fears, I guess.
No, well, that's. Well, I was going to ask you as well. Didn't you say you have a family member close to you who attended medical school as well? Do you have any anecdotes about that?
Me? I got a lot of family members that went to medical school. I don't have any anecdotes about it.
Yeah. I hate to exclude you from this. I feel like there's a lot of stuff you can say that would be useful to anyone going into medical school.
Son, I have nothing to contribute. I really, my cousins are, I guess they're finished with medical school, or one of them isn't. But I really haven't talked to them about that. Especially recently. So, other than that, and then my parents went a long time ago, before the internet. So,
yeah, before the internet. That's how my dad was. Yeah. I find it funny. I'm going to the same medical school that my father went to and that my grandfather went to. His father. My paternal grandfather was the first. He was in the first class of this medical school in Georgia. I thought that was really cool to think of. It's like I'm the only third generation person at this medical school. It feels really weird to me. Doesn't mean I'm going to do very well though necessarily. It is hard. Medical school is hard.
That sounds easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about that. If you guys have something else you wanted to.
Oh no, well, Daniel,
I suppose
you're the topic master. It's your podcast.
Oh,
You talk about 20 minutes. Yeah, give us some quirky, interesting topics.
Oh, I don't have any topics. That's the whole point. Is I don't.
You're the host. Isn't that your job?
Yeah. Anuj, he's just happy that we filled up the time with something.
I mean, yeah, but you can't just rely on that. Unless you know you're gonna have like a special guest on, which I don't know if anybody ever mentioned this to you, John, but we have had a student athlete on the podcast already.
Oh, really?
I don't know if so I brought so. Yeah, obviously, no, we talk a lot like Georgia Tech football on this podcast. We talk a lot of like NFL on the podcast, like you listen to other episodes, but we never talk any other sports. So I asked Dan and I asked Felix, like, hey, can we do a thing on Georgia Tech volleyball? And he was open to it, and so I brought Julia Bergman onto the show.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really nice conversation. She and Chase got to bond over physics.
That's cool. Yeah, I bet a lot of these people are really down to earth, really fun to talk to. I feel like I talked to one or two members, at least on the volleyball team. They were very kind. It's very down.
They are. They're really nice.
Yeah, that was a good episode. It did very well. And
I hope we get to do that again sometime.
I was gonna say, I know you've been trying to get to kind of work something at least similar. Get someone else.
Yeah. No luck so far. No luck so far.
But she was a great guest, and she'd be welcome to come back. Obviously, I know she's probably getting ready for
she actually was on international duty.
And yeah, like we talked about that. She's playing internationally and outside of the school too, so that kind of keeps her busy even during the off season. So.
Oh, that's cool.
And being a physics major, don't forget.
And yeah, apparently being a physics major is pretty easy. So.
Who told you that, Chase?
No, Chase definitely didn't say that.
Okay, because I don't think Julia said that either.
No. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Is there anything specific?
I have no idea. Think about what are some of y'all's favorite foods, or if you'd like to start, do y'all like seafood? Because that was what I was just saying at the beginning of the podcast. That was what I was opening all those doors to bring in. I had my griddle outdoors, and it was about to start raining. I pulled it in just in time.
Oh, I'm vegetarian, so I can't have seafood.
Oh, yeah?
So, what do you feel about seafood?
I have no opinion because I literally cannot have it.
Really? That's what I've heard. A lot of rednecks are like, okay, fish is practically a vegetable. So yeah, I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. What about you, Daniel?
I've been known to eat seafood.
What kinds do you like? If you're talking about fish, like which fish? Like which species?
Jesus, fish. The problem is we just don't have a big variety up here. So.
Okay.
Where's up
it's
here?
It's a lot of halibut in central New York.
Halibut. Okay. How was halibut?
For some reason.
Yeah, sold at that butcher market that I worked at. How did it taste?
It's interesting. I mean, I'm not a huge fish guy. I mean, my dad is, but.
Do you fish or?
I don't fish.
You just go to the store.
Go to the store. Whatever. Whatever's available. Pretend to make it.
Yeah, I've heard of doing that. The guy I worked for made like the grouper. He made like grouper was one of the best fish that you could have. Have you ever had grouper? I haven't had it yet.
Grouper, I've had that before, but that's been probably a while. I've had grouper.
Do you remember it at all?
It's probably been 10 years. I don't
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But, we can talk about some vegetarian options to be a little more inclusive.
Yeah,
all right.
I do like spinach. What kind of salad, Anuj?
Huh?
What do you think is the best leafy greens to have in a salad?
I don't know about the salad, but I will tell you, when I like to cook my vegetables with like dal or other vegetables, spinach, fenugreek, and amaranth.
Mm.
And occasionally, and I mean, if you're talking about salad, like sandwiches, then arugula. Arugula's pretty neat.
Yeah,
And kale.
Yeah. Oh, you like kale as well? How do they compare? Arugula, kale, spinach, like etc. Are some more bitter than others? I imagine.
Never really paid attention to it.
Oh, okay. You don't really have a preference to them. You just kind of take whatever's on sale or whatever.
I mean, if I go out of my way, it's usually to get spinach or fenugreek or amaranth.
Okay.
I haven't actually tried to make any. I haven't actually tried to go grab arugula and stuff. I should.
Do you like your stuff fresh as well, or do you only cook it?
I usually cook that stuff. I mean, you can make dal with it. You can make like curry with it, and it's pretty damn good, especially when you make curry with it. Trust me.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I always heard cooked like leafy greens get really bitter and nasty. I never really had a lot of cooked greens, but I like them in a salad, like super fresh. As soon as
The trick is not to cook it for too long, otherwise you sap all of the nutritional value.
Okay, so that's probably overcooked vegetables that I was hearing about. So you cook them a little bit to like what, release flavor a bit more? Is that
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll cook the tomatoes and the onions until the raw smell goes away. Then I'll add the spinach, then I'll add cheese, then I'll add spices, then I'll mix it well until I got like a good consistency. Then I'll call it a day.
You ever make vegetarian chili? Like
Never tried it.
meat?
I've never tried it.
Good. Really?
Yeah.
How come?
No, I just never tried making chili. That's all.
Is it beans or anything? Is that the whole?
Oh yeah, I love beans, especially chickpeas. Chickpeas is bomb.
If you replace the meat with beans, I bet that would turn out really well. I have a few chili recipes that my dad has kind of messed with for a while. He's cooked chili like dozens and dozens of times, and he's given me a lot of good recipes. The only thing I deviated on was I would tend to add habaneros without the core. The core is the hottest part of habanero. If you take that out, it's not that spicy, especially if you cook it into a dish. And it's like, it has this kind of mango-y, weird kind of flavor. Have you guys had habaneros?
I actually have me personally, I've never used peppers in my cooking. I usually just use chili powder.
Peppers? Like zero peppers?
I just use chili powder. I mean, I use dried red peppers, but that's about it.
You're missing out, man. You gotta try those, mince those, habanero peppers. Take out all of that white part that's really, really, really hot. Just take all of that out of the middle, and then, it's kind of like a bell pepper. Take all of that out, and then mince it super, super fine, like into the tiniest squares you can reach. And then, I swear, dude, you mix that into chili, it tastes incredible. It's like,
honestly, you can do that with anything. Like, my mom does that. Like, she'll chop up peppers and stick them in there.
Right.
Like, fresh green peppers.
Yeah.
And it's pretty damn spicy, but it's also damn good.
Green pepper? Oh, are you talking about
green peppers? Yeah.
Serranos? Or are you talking about bell peppers?
No, not bell peppers.
Yeah, no.
Green peppers.
So, are you talking about jalapenos or serranos or?
Not sure.
How big are they? Have you seen her before she's cut them up?
Maybe like the size of like my middle finger.
Okay, those might be serranos. So they're really narrow, like around the width of your middle finger as well.
Yeah. Oh no, a little thinner.
Oh, thinner than your middle finger? That might be Shoot, I can't remember the name of those now. Yeah, I've heard of those as well. I feel like I might have had them before. Yeah, dude, I love experimenting with like different vegetables in my chili or gumbo or whatever I'm making. Anything that you cook like for a long period, it can just like completely change everything. Way more than you might expect. Certain ingredients that you use.
Nice.
Even if it's a tiny amount, it's like it completely changes how the whole thing tastes, I feel like. What are
You
some
don't even use like bell peppers, Anuj? Not even like
I've actually
peppers?
made something with bell peppers. Bell peppers and potatoes make for an interesting pairing.
Oh, really? I've never done that.
Yeah.
Do you cube the potatoes? Like, do you boil?
Yes. Yeah, I chop them up. No, I chop them up and I fry them.
Oh, you fry them. Okay. Do you fry them with the peppers, or you fry the?
I usually end up frying them separately.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I can see how you might burn one or overcook the other, that kind of thing, if you try to do them together. But yeah, so you just put those together and put like what, salt and pepper?
Salt, chili powder, turmeric, cumin, and coriander.
Oh yeah, turmeric. Yeah, that's a very traditional kind of spice, right? I haven't used a lot of turmeric, but I hear that it's very good.
Definitely it's an Indian spice for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like turmeric, coriander, cumin, asafoetida is also a thing that we use a lot. That I use a lot. It's a good garlic replacement. Asafoetida.
What's that last one you said? Can you say it slower one more time? I don't think I've heard of it.
Asafoetida. Look up, okay, so look, if you can't find that, try Hing. Hing.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, now you know, now you see it. Okay, yeah, that's what you're looking for.
So you said it's a good replacement for garlic? How does it compare to
garlic? It's
Is it less or more intense?
I would say a little less intense.
Okay.
It gives it more of, I guess, I don't want to say dry taste, but I'm gonna say it.
Like astringent? Is it like tea that's been oversteeped a bit? Like it's astringent?
It's a powder.
No, right, but I'm saying when you put it in something, like, the way that it is when you drink oversteeped black tea or something, where it like dries out your mouth a little bit. Is it something like that, or is it dry? When you say it's drying.
Honestly, I can't really describe it. It's a very distinct taste. That's all I can say. It's a very distinct taste for sure.
And you said it's mainly for is it mainly for curry and stuff?
I use it in curry. I also use it in dal.
Okay. Yeah, I need to broaden my horizons and try more Indian cuisine. I remember going to a Indian restaurant and trying some curry, and that really blew my mind. I was very impressed by it.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
whatever you're tasting, the unique, like the spicy taste is probably coming from like the chili powder or the pepper or and most likely like the cumin and the coriander. There's also like a garam masala that they use, which I think is like cinnamon, cloves, and cardamom. I don't know the exact proportion though.
Oh yeah, I do love cardamom. Have you ever had Turkish coffee, like where they grind it so fine that it's practically matcha level consistency? It's pretty much a powder, and they just mix it into the drink instead of filtering it like regular coffee.
Never tried
that. Stuff is incredible. And they
Turkish grind.
They mix it with cardamom typically, so it's like it's super pungent and intense and bitter, but in a good way. It's like it enhances it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I only had it once, but I will never forget it. They had a restaurant in Atlanta that would make it. Do you like any hot sauces in particular, Anuj? Any certain class of hot sauce?
Me?
Yeah.
Uh,
Or any seasonings that you think the world is like missing out on if they don't use them. You know what I mean?
other than the ones I mentioned, honestly, I can't think of any.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more of like proprietary blends like that a company did, just in case you thought of any.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make Indian stuff, but you're not sure where to start with like premixed spice blends, I'd look at MTR.
MTR. Okay.
Yeah, it's a company. If you, where do you live?
Oh, I live in Columbus now, pretty close to the Alabama border, but still in Georgia, just west, middle Georgia.
Yeah, 'cause I know there's one place close by, at least where I used to live in Johns Creek, and a few places close by me right now where you would be able to get that kind of stuff, those kinds of spice mixes. So.
Yeah, I've seen some Mexican markets actually near where I am, and they
That
have.
carry that kind of stuff?
What was that?
Will that carry that kind of spice mix?
I'm not sure about that actually. I feel like there's some Asian markets, so they might have some Indian spices as well as like Chinese traditional stuff. I'll have to check them out a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in trying to like broaden my horizons a bit.
Mhm. Yeah. I'll have to. If I'm ever in town, like I should try to make something. See how it works.
Oh yeah, cool. I could probably make something for you that you would be impressed by as well.
Alright.
Even if it's not like meat based. I know a lot of the stuff. I'm a red blooded American. A lot of the stuff I eat is meat based, very, very much. But I've made
Yeah.
a lot of great meals that you might be impressed by the certain way that you know cook them, like on a griddle.
Alright.
It can be really impressive.
Alright, I could be down.
Yeah. You said you're up in Virginia though now, right? That would be a long trip for you. Do you have
I've
any
tried it.
family?
Yeah, I've made it. It sucks.
Did you fly or did you drive?
I drove. Flying
Oh,
isn't so
how long?
bad. Flying ain't so bad. You can get decent,
Yeah.
you can get decent airfare with Delta or, Southwest.
Yeah, my uncle has a passenger plane. My dad used to have one. That would just like cut the travel time in
For
work.
sure.
What did your drive take? How long did the car trip take
10
to get from
hours.
like where you to Atlanta?
Yeah. And I had to
Good.
stop for gas and food. And I always stop for gas and I always stop for food.
Was it like one or two trips for gas?
One.
Okay,
I
just
mean,
one in the.
theoretically, I could probably make it on make it on a tank, but I ain't gonna try.
Yeah, no reason to like press your luck. Yeah, so you empty your gas tank like past halfway and then you fill it back up and come down.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's smart. I get nervous when I'm around like 30, yeah, 30 miles left on my prediction. I'm like,
Like
oh
on
my
a good
god.
day,
Yeah.
I've gotten like on a good trip, like a good long trip with like nice uninterrupted driving and at speed. The last time I did that, I went to Monticello. It was like a 2-hour drive. I came back, I filled the tank. I almost got up to 500-mile capacity.
Wow. What kind of car do you have?
It's a Subaru Impreza.
Okay.
I've been able to pull like 500. I've been able to max out at like 600 on my old car. I had a Volvo, but then I totaled it on when I was driving home.
How'd that happen?
I hit something in the road, and it messed up my cooling system.
Oh, did your tire kick something up into your engine or something like that around that area into your
It
engine?
kicked up the intercooler or something like it. It went under the hood, like it went under the front bumper, and then it hit like
Damn,
the intercooler or something. I don't. It was a mess.
yeah. Which, by the way, I was gonna say I haven't really seen a Subaru Impreza. What is the miles per gallon you'll get on that thing? I imagine it's a coupe, right?
Huh?
Like a little car? Is it a little car?
It's a 5-door. It's a hatchback.
Okay, gotcha. What kind of MPG do you get on that thing? I get on mine. I have a slightly larger pickup truck. It's not a full size truck, but it's it's a Honda Ridgeline. So it's super comfortable. It's still a bit bigger than a lot of the coupes. I get about 20 to 25 miles per gallon, depending.
Nice.
How about you?
I usually average around 240, 250 a gallon on a good day. But if I take a nice, if I'm driving doing highway driving at speed, then I can usually get I can push 300 if it's a 30-minute drive. Sometimes 400, 500 if I'm going for a couple hours. It depends. But yeah, I can get on the tank.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, mine, for my tank, I'm about 250, yeah. Yeah, I'm not too bad. My tank is 17 gallons, though. It's probably a pretty big tank.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what car do you drive, Daniel? We're leaving you out again.
No. There was someone at my, kind of at my window, let's say. Started walking toward me.
Oh, really?
A situation. I don't know. It was tough to tell if it was menacing because it's dark outside, but that dark outside.
He's just standing there. Menacingly!
Well, he pulled into a place next to mine. So, and then I guess he started walking outside. Anyway. I forgot the question. Oh, what car do I drive? I drive a Toyota RAV4.
Nice. So you drive a truck?
No, it's a RAV4. It's a compact SUV.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I started out on a sort of minivan SUV kind of deal. I had a 2017 Ford Explorer initially. I think you guys might have saw that as I was pulling up to practice. It was pretty nice, but that mileage was horrible. And I think my mom had more use for it than I did, so we ended up just cycling our cars. What do you think of your car though, Daniel? What do you think is your what's your mileage about typically? Say you're on the highway, just cruising.
What's my mile per gallon?
On the highway, ideal scenario, the best you're gonna tend to get.
Mine's a hybrid, so I think it actually does better in the city.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Probably get 40 in the city.
Okay. Do you have to pay more to charge the electric component of it? I really never understood entirely the concept of hybrid cars. I mean, I know there's some kind of mechanism where it doesn't harvest energy whenever you brake really hard or something.
How
does that work?
Yeah, it's regenerative braking. It's basically turning that energy into electrical energy. And then taking heat off the engine as well. Does that as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a neat concept. The most eco-friendly thing my truck is it will. It's a 2021 model, so it'll when I brake really hard and stop completely at a light, it will stop the engine. but that's about the most it'll do. I can hardly imagine getting 40 miles per gallon. That's really crazy.
That's like in the summer on a really good day.
Yeah. Well,
Winter
still,
drop.
the best I'll ever get is like 25, 26.
Yeah.
Mine's a little bigger, but I mean, still, it's not a full-size pickup. I'm sure a full-size truck. Mine is a pickup. So I'm sure a full-size truck would tend to be more like, 20 to 15 at best on a highway or whatever, because those things are just so damn heavy.
Yeah, my car, I feel like is pretty light considering it's,
Storage space?
Yeah. Yeah. Technically an SUV. And also it's got a big battery in the back, but.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I realized that my video off all the time because I had my phone up, and I'm trying not to drain too much battery. But I was going to say I could turn it on briefly to show you. This truck is really cool. It has like this thing is awesome. You can sorry, 5 more seconds.
1, 2, 3.
Run. I put downstairs to get in my truck. It has like a special garage or whatever. All right, here we go.
All right, let's hit.
Yeah. Sorry. I was trying to unlock it. So, all right, here's the thing you do.
Hey, looking good.
Not really. I better be quick to flip my camera around. Okay, here we go. So, you see, you can open it like a regular truck bed, right? You can pull the top it down. That's just like a regular truck. But the thing is, that's cool about this one. Okay, you see down here, there's this little latch.
Yeah.
Pull on this, and then as long as I keep it unlocked. Sorry, one sec. There we go. As long as I keep it unlocked, I can open it from the side. Look at that.
Wow. Revolutionary.
Here's the kicker. And also, you can lock this compartment. Look how deep this is.
Whoa.
I can almost fit my arm in, like, up to my shoulder in this compartment back here.
That's impressive.
It's insane, dude. And it's waterproof.
That's pretty cool.
It's like, people call Ridgeline's a dorky truck, but hey, I'll take it, man. This thing rides so smooth. It has that independent suspension, or whatever you call it, and it has all these fancy little features. It's hard to beat this thing, man.
Yeah.
I will happily take a minute.
Just so everyone knows, that was John's truck. Thank you for sharing with the audio podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going to video.
No, we never share audio on this thing. You know that.
At some point, we might do video, but that's not today.
Oh, damn, sorry, I wouldn't have even done that. I thought you were going to, push up the podcast a little bit. Like
maybe we should. Maybe we'll release a promotional
Patreon. Then for like the subscribers that actually donate to it, they can see the video.
Oh, okay.
Patreon.
Yeah. Listen, Daniel, open up your Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have. Yeah. Okay, I think we can start wrapping it up there. Unless you guys have
I gotta go get food. I gotta get food.
John's gotta get in his deep truck.
LOL.
All right, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, nice seeing you.
Good to see you fellas too.